I get it, guys. It's a real hard situation. Coming from a father standpoint, this would probably be the line drawn on the sand. But hey, we've seen this before. When he said tariffs, everybody freaked out. And the only country that got bent over was China. When we dropped bombs on Iran, everybody thought that World War III was going to get loose. And then the only thing that happened after was peace treaties. So let's keep your eyes on the 72-hour marker. Flash, let them know where they can find you.
Over at Flashy underscore news one. Everything has been lifted. Flying high. Come check me out. Great troops. Hold that.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Let's make deposits into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to Paranoi Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Trebles, Garcia, your humble host, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Guys, it's a serious topic. It's an amazing episode lined up. I want to remind you that the most important thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at paranoidradio.com. Check out the affiliations, but most importantly, stay tuned for the rest of the show because we have a lot of topics to go through. Today, we are bringing in one of my special guests that he's been here before. Let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Give a warm welcome to Flash for Flash underscore news one. He's a patriot. He's a father, business owner, and he's here to break some noise. Let's make some cages crackle, bro. How's it going?
It's going great, bro. It's been a while. Been too long. Just life has been catching up with us. But I'm here. I'm all your guys for the next however long. You don't need me. We got to break a lot of shit down, everybody. So please bear with us. Stay till the end. It's going to be a lot of information, but it's going to be facts.
It's going to be a lot of facts, not only based on emotion, but also based on the true stuff that you guys are overseeing. And I mean, quite honestly, everybody's going through this right now. It's a very turmoil. It's on a lot of events that are happening. For example, MacArthur Park. Everybody remembers MacArthur Park for being one of the most iconic places in LA. But there's no culture in MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park, and I'll tell you because I live 20 minutes away from it. MacArthur Park is a place that's infested with zombies. It's a zombie park with a bunch of people hitting up smack, selling crack,
Yeah.
doing meth, and selling green cards off the back of their vans.
Right.
So it's what are they really cleaning up? You guys are pissed off at that. Next up is gonna be freaking what? Skid Row, and you guys are gonna be pissed at that. It's not about emotions, guys. Erase that. Now, where can people find you? Please, Flash, let them know.
Flashy underscore news one on Instagram. Flashy underscore truth on Truth Social. Let's get into it, bro.
All right, Flash. Today, the first topic: Splinter Cell. He is a transhumanist, Elon Musk. Break it down.
Okay, yeah, I thought we were gonna start with the Epstein files, but yeah, let's start with Splinter Cell. I was already preparing for that. Okay, so
We could always
Elon
go
Musk.
there if you want.
Let's start with the hot topic, bro. Let's start with the hot topic. Elon ain't going nowhere, bro, because this
All
shit, I
right.
know it's on everybody's mind. People are probably gonna watch this episode just for this section right here because they want to see what Flash is talking. He's gonna
Yeah.
So let's just get into it, man. Because listen, I'm not afraid of nothing, right? We got to tackle it while it's here, while it's right now. Obviously things are looking bad, but you know what? This is how you know you're in a psyop. When you don't know up from down, down from up, when nothing makes sense, right? So we're just gonna break this down. Let's just break down the timeline, right? So however long that was ago when Pam Bondi gave those folders to the influencers, right? That was right in the beginning of the administration, right? Everyone thought it was weird. The information wasn't anything
Phase
new, but
one.
it was just weird. The whole thing was fucking weird, right? We all admitted that at the time. Nobody thought it was cool. Like nobody was like, yeah, this is dope. Everyone thought it was weird, right? And at that point, I was like, this is weird. This feels like an op. I said it then. I was like, this feels like an information op. This is weird. This is like performative. And like, who is this for? It's not for the base because we know the truth. We already know this information, right? So then it died down for a while. Nobody really talked about the Epstein files. Like, Pam Bondi would go on TV and talk here and there. She said, I got the files around my desk. I'm looking through them. There's a bunch of videos of child pornography. She made sure she said that. She was like, there's
Which
a
is
lot of
why it's very
videos
sensitive. Yes.
of porn and only of Epstein. Epstein was filming himself, essentially, is what she was saying. It was only Epstein in the videos and little girls. So why would you put that out? That's what she's saying, right? And legally, I don't think you can. It's child porn. You can't even view it legally. So that was like, okay, weird. But then we're waiting, right? Then a couple days ago, Axios, the left wing anti-Trump shit rag of a newspaper, they released a memo that was leaked to them. So this memo was never published. This memo never came out publicly. It was never an official memo, right? This was leaked to a left-wing Axios outlet, right? So Axios leaked it. They said that the memo said that Epstein killed himself. He had no client list. He wasn't an agent of anybody. Okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then they deleted it, right? They then deleted the document. So that was weird. And then there was no official statement from Pambani. There was no official statement from the FBI. There still hasn't been an official statement on their X or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird, right? So then everyone was like, well, it's fake news. That's why they deleted it. I even was like, yo, I don't think the memo is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Karen Levette, the press secretary, she went up to the podium a couple hours later, and they asked her about it. They said, what's going on with the Epstein case? She was like, oh, yeah, no, the memo said what it said, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Pambani is wrapping it up, and, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Well, why would Axios delete it? And why would they leak it? Why wouldn't you just give it to the media if you're that's your stance, right?
Big,
so either
yeah.
someone there's the deep state that still exists, people. Just because we have the top positions doesn't mean we have the bureaucracy, right? We're still trying to fire people. So those people that are under the heads is really where the deep state is at, right? So they know where all the bodies are buried. They were there in the Biden administration. Some were there probably since Obama, since Bush. Like they've been there forever. They know how to hide shit. They know how to do shit, right? So could one of those people have leaked the memo just to put it out because Pambani was going to sit on it for a while, maybe. Maybe they're trying to sow chaos and they leaked it. But then why would Axios delete it, right? Fast forward. Okay, who was at the White House yesterday? And today? Bibi Netanyahu, right?
Word.
Just so
Word.
happens this memo leaked out right when Bibi was at the White House. Is that a coincidence? We all know Jeffrey Epstein was working for Mossad and Israel, right?
We all know. Conspiracy theorists, we all know.
We
There's
all
no
know, right?
coincidence.
So here's my two scenarios, right? Either Bibi is working behind closed doors, right? And he has his own little spy networks in the DOJ, which is very possible. They leaked the memo to get in front of anything that Trump was going to do, that Trump was going to say, that Pambani was going to do, right? And then that forces them to get behind it because it had Pambani's signature. Like, you can't say you didn't write it. You know what I mean? So, right. But what I think is more likely is that we're watching an information op. Now, if we tie Israel and the peace deal with Iran into all this and Bibi Netanyahu, right? Because over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a crazy shift with Israel, Bibi, how they've been acting with Iran. Because if we remember, everyone was losing their fucking minds a couple of weeks ago because we were going to go to war with Iran because Israel controls Trump. Remember, don't forget who was saying that. Don't forget who was saying Israel controls Trump. They were guaranteeing we were going to war. They were guaranteeing that U.S. troops would be on the ground in Iran, that we were going to do a regime change because Bibi wanted it. That's what they said, right? And I just said, let it play out. Trump is in full control. Trump is using Israel as a pit bull because Trump wants something from Iran. He wants them to give up the nuclear program. He's been saying that since 20 years ago, bro. People act like he just got this into. Bibi didn't put this in his head. Trump's been saying this since he was a civilian 20 years ago. You can hear a speech him talking about it. It's all over the internet, okay? So this is something personal to him that he's believed in most of his life. So you can't tell me that this came out of left field or he's doing it for this. He's doing it because of his beliefs, right? Now, these certain influencers, we'll get into them later, painted a picture that Trump was being controlled, right? And then when you paint that picture, when you see it through that lens, you can see it through anything. It's just like racism. When you have the racism glasses on, everything looks racist. Oh, that guy didn't hold the door open to me because he's racist.
That's 1,000% done, yes.
Because he's racist. So you put the TDS glasses on, the Trump derangement, the Israel derangement syndrome glasses, right? That's when you see everything through the eyes of Candace Owens and these people, right? Oh, Trump did this. This is the best one. Trump held the chair open for Bibi. Have you seen this meme where he opens the chair and Bibi sits down and Trump pushes it? Oh, he's control. Oh, but did you say that when he did it for Modi, the Indian president? Oh, that's
you guys only get to choose. Yeah, you guys get to choose where to apply that.
So maybe it's just something he does out of respect for the office holder of the head of state, and it has nothing to do with being controlled. But you could paint that picture when you have the lens on, right? So that's just a prime example of that. Now, according to them, we were going to get into that war, right? And Bibi was going to do all this. He was going to do all that, blah, blah, blah. What actually happened was Bibi said he wanted a regime change. That's what they said they wanted, right? They were pushing that propaganda. Oh, it's a good thing because The women,
1000%.
right? All that. It's none of our business what Iran, their politics over there. Just like it wasn't our business in Afghanistan. Look what that got us into. So then all of a sudden, Bibi went from regime change to all-out war to a ceasefire. And all Trump had to do was drop 3 fucking bombs on 3 places because that's what he wanted to do because he didn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. It had nothing to do with what Israel wanted. He got in, he got out, he did what he wanted to do, and then he shut it all down. Boom, you're done. Ceasefire, boom. Today, ceasefire right now, and they did it. When has Israel ever listened to an American president when it came to war or anything going on in the Middle East? They would always say, this is our region. You don't know what you're talking about. We'll handle it from here. We would give them all the weapons they wanted, and they would bomb everything and everywhere, right? Now, look, we got Syria on the side of America, ready to join the Abraham Accords. Now, Iran and Israel are close to a have a ceasefire deal in Iran, right? There's no more bombs being dropped. Iran's not hitting Israel anymore, all because Trump said so. Tell me who's in control, right? And then what's going on in Gaza? Now we have a ceasefire deal coming in the next week, guaranteed by Bibi. That's why he was here the last couple of days, getting that cemented in, right? Now Bibi's talking about a 2-state solution. When the fuck has he ever said the word 2-state solution? Bro?
Never.
Are you kidding me?
He also signed deals with Saudi. All the stuff that happened right before that led
I don't
to
care.
the Iran
All
war.
of the promises Trump has made, the most important for me, for you, for our families, for our future, is no more wars.
Okay, that's something big that people are overlooking. Yeah,
bro, people like this is what happens when you get so hyper focused on one thing, right? You get the blinders, you put the binoculars on, you're looking at the Jeffrey. Listen, it's important, but honestly, bro, that does not affect my day-to-day life. If we get that information today, or in 3 years, or in 2 months, I trust that there is a plan behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. But everything I'm seeing is that Trump is using the Jeffrey Epstein files as leverage, as blackmail against the people that are in it. Because listen, right? So when you first came out with that information, giving the binders to the influencers, that was him saying, listen, I got it, and I'm not afraid to use it, baby. Let's go.
Makes sense, because he didn't give it to legacy media.
Push it all out, right?
Yeah, he gave it to the influencers.
Showing them the reach that I could have if I wanted to, right? So we gave a little sprinkle of some shit that some people didn't see what was in it. Some people didn't know the normies and shit. So it was awakening for some people, right? So, but then it got everybody interested again. So then the pressure's on, right? Bro, I got this. Now, what are you going to do to make me not release it? Boom, these trade deals start happening. China, all this other stuff, right? Boom,
That's
boom,
not
boom,
a lie.
boom.
That's not
and
a
listen,
lie.
you can say whatever you want, but everyone can agree that nothing is ever what it seems. Okay, so if it seems like it's this way right now, most likely it's probably not this way. Okay, and everyone's going off of the press conference that happened in the cabinet meeting today. Trump was asked straight up about the Epstein stuff. And now you're just seeing the clip of him reacting to the reporter's question about Epstein. I watched it live. If you watched it 10, 15 minutes before that, Trump was rolling. He was talking about the Texas kids that were dead in the Christian school, God rest their soul. He was talking about that. He was talking about how great our country was doing. He was like really like amping it up. This is what he does. He was giving like a campaign speech almost. He was just talking about how great everything was, give him respect. The first person he calls on, Jeffrey Epstein. That's the first question, bro. And Trump was just like he felt this. He was like, damn, bro, like really right now, we do a cabinet meeting once a month. You can't ask me that. I do a million freaking press conferences a day, but you could ask me that. You know, right now he was saying like, are you really still talking about this, bro? He was genuinely angry. But if you know Trump, he gets like that all the time when a reporter asks him a stupid question. This isn't new. This isn't just because it was Epstein. He acted like, bro, he does it all the time, bro. He's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you really want to ask me that, right? Like, you're being so negative, is what he said. And he was like, you know what, Pam, go ahead, ask him. He could have shut it down completely, right? But then he put it on Pam. And then now Pam Bondi, she's in the spotlight, right? Because he could have said, listen, we're not talking about that. He didn't have to call on Pam Bondi. He didn't have to call her all right. He shut it down. He said, we're not talking about, you know what, Pam, why don't you stand? You want to talk about it? She got up there looking all nervous, right? Yeah, so the 1 minute, the 1 minute video is normal. It's completely normal to have a 1 minute video. It's going to be sounding crazy. She lost that luster in her eye that she had the first week of the administration, right?
Something about her eye twinkle.
So
man,
now, listen, do we have precedent for this? Do we have precedent for Israel spies being caught in the administration? What happened a few months ago? The National Security Advisor, Mike Walls. Why was he fired? For spying for Israel. Come on, bro. That this is what they do. This is what Trump knows what the game is. That was actually publicly said that that's what he was doing. He was texting Bibi and having private conversations. So, of course, Bibi has more spies. So did they compromise Pam Bondi And by leaking, did Pam Bondi leak that information, right? Made it seem like she didn't leak it and it was somebody else, but she really did leak it because she was told to. Then she confirmed it, right? Put Caroline Levitt in a bad position because she couldn't lie. Then she was like, yeah, I guess it is what it is, I guess, right? And then Pam Bondi's in the spotlight. Now people are calling for her resignation. Now let's say she resigns. You're going to put an acting intern AG in there, right? Who would that be? The original pick, Matt fucking Gaetz.
The original pick.
Doesn't need to be Senate confirmed, right? Because it's just interim 6 months. That's all he needs is 6 months,
Holy
brothers.
fuck sauce. You
That's
might be
all
going
he
on to
fucking
something.
needs is 6 months, okay? And he knows where the bodies are buried. He knows what's going on with Israel. He's been talking about it on his new fucking television show on One American News Network. Was that always the plan? Was always the plan for him to fake it like he was going to pick him, for him to drop out?
We've seen some wild shit, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you guys this, and I'm not just, this is just me observing Trump over the last 8 years. We have 8 years of history, people. Okay, this isn't like fresh bread here. This isn't his first day in the job. We have a whole first administration. We have the Q movement. We have the Q proof still being confirmed today. Trump is still dropping Q. You think all this shit happened just for us to come this far? You think we came this far just to come this far?
You think, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to pivot this part so that you can amplify this. What do you think is going to happen? He's more worried about his legacy. Do you think that Donald Trump wants to reign over the ashes and be remembered as the guy that protected Epstein, a pedophile? No, bro. There's something bigger here, dude.
Bro, so he did not take a bullet in the fucking face to protect fucking one man, bro. Okay, he did not do that, bro. He did not. I'm just telling you.
What would happen on a global scale?
Right. So this is what nobody's talking about, bro, is the backlash from releasing the files today, right now. In the first fucking year of your term, right? Just when your fucking economy is pumping, just when the stock market's pumping, just when everything is pumping, you're going to release the files. Okay, now what? Who's on the list? Are there other world leaders on the list? Are there major hedge fund guys on the list? Are those stocks going to tank? Major corporations, right? Are people going to say, fuck it all and not go to work anymore because we're being fucking ruled by pedophiles? Are people going to say, I'm not going to work? Fuck it. I'm not doing, we're being ruled by pedophiles. Until this guy gets arrested, I'm not going to work. The protest, the stock, the economy, the diplomatic relationships that would be hurt. Maybe there's presidents in there. Maybe there's other presidents. Maybe there's world leaders that are on the list. Who knows who else is on that list, and who knows what effect it would have if it's being released today,
the big, beautiful
right now.
bill just passed, bro. We cannot jeopridize that. So I think he's
going to have
shockwaves.
It's going to have shockwaves, right? So knowing you're wielding that powerful of a weapon, number one, why would you bust your nut early and just fucking give it up and get nothing for it? Bro, that's not who Trump is, bro. Trump is a leverage master. He's a deal maker. If he's got something on him, he's going to use it until he gets what he wants. Then he'll drop it, right? Because he made that promise. He didn't say when the Epstein files were going to come out. He just said in my next term, bro. We just started, bro. It's like 180 days. We have
that's true
years.
too, bro.
Listen. We need something to climax to. We're building up. You think you're gonna fucking like I said? I hate to use the term, but busting a load way too early. You know what I mean? Like we just got here. We're building up, bro. That's good. That's a climax thing. That's something that happens at a peak moment, at a perfect time when the economy can, all this stuff, right? So, and then no one's thinking about that because everybody wants what they want, right? And I know we all want this information, but Trump is putting the needs of the world and the country first. What the country needs, then what the world needs, then what the base needs. Okay, he doesn't need to please the base. We know where we're at. People may forget, or people are fake MAGA and are making money off of the division and are making money off pushing a narrative.
100%.
You know
100%.
The line's being made clear again, bro. Who was here for the real shit and who was here for the fake shit? And we can dive into Elon because that's a perfect example of the fake shit.
We spoke Iran, we spoke Israel, we spoke Bibi and Palestine. We're jumping straight to Splinter Cell. Whoa, we call him the next Splinter Cell because what you said was you think this is a hot drop here. Flash thing, guys, everything that he just put, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Wherever Flash puts his mouth, wherever he puts his word, that's where he puts the bullet. I'm telling you right now, bro. I haven't seen Flash be wrong yet. I've gone to war with my best friend Tank for this, with my wife, family. I'm telling you, bro, he hasn't been wrong yet. So again, bro, Elon Musk, how is he splintering the MAGA movement?
Okay, so we sat here on this podcast right when Elon was getting involved with the movement and politically. I said, I really feel like Elon is lullabying our movement. Rockabye baby, I'm your best friend. Da, 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 da. Right, and I said that over and over again. I made reels about it. It wasn't really popular at the time because it wasn't. But it's turned out that I feel that that's exactly what he's doing. Bro, Elon, the name of the movie is TRANS-HUMANIST, right? The name of this episode is transhumanist. And the reason for that is that's because that is, or transhumanism, whatever, that is Elon's ideology. That is his belief system. That is obsessive in his mind. That's all he cares about. He wants to merge humans with robots. That's what transhumanism is, right? I'm sure people know by now, but if they don't, that's what that is. It's the AI stuff. It's merging the brain chips. It starts out as curing the blind, curing the deaf, doing all these false prophets and false miracles. I was just explaining how it's the transhumanism agenda is what Elon's all about. And he's willing to do whatever to get there. If he's got to jump on the MAGA train to get there, if he's got to jump on the American Party train to get there,
that's 100% true.
This is what he's always been about. And if you go through his fucking Twitter feeds and he admitted he's a socialist. He said we need a carbon tax in order to save the world. That's globalist speak. That's how he really feels. He really thinks that carbon dioxide is going to poison us. That's because he's selling EV cars. That's why he believes that. That's the only reason why he got mad at the big beautiful bill is because it didn't have the EV mandate in it. And people forget that the NASA guy, Isaacman, that was supposed to be the head of NASA, that was Elon's fucking boy, right? And he wanted Trump to put him at NASA because NASA deals with the SpaceX contracts. So Elon would have had his best boy at NASA, giving him everything he wanted. And Trump was like, listen, I can't do that just optically. Even if he doesn't care at all, personally, optically it looks bad. It looks like Elon's getting a favor, right? And the whole point was there was no favors. There was no, you do this for me, I'm gonna do this. And Trump was straight up. He told him that. He said, I'm not gonna do the EV mandate. I think Musk thought he could.
And not just recently. He's been talking about the freaking EV mandate being postponed for a very long time. He said, drill, baby, drill. And he campaigned on that. So it's not like Elon Musk just found this out. No, you still donated and you still campaigned and you still jumped on that stage with him. You were an opportunist. That's what it looks like.
Because Elon is not used to hearing no. He could have sworn Trump was going to say yes at some point. He could have sworn he was going to milk Trump. He was going to oil him up, talk so good about him. He's a narcissist, right? All you got to do is talk nice. He'll get nope. You ain't getting a goddamn thing because Trump saw right through it and he saw that it was an opportunity. Damn. He probably felt the pressure Elon was putting on him. Oh, maybe you should put the EV mandate back in, or maybe you should. Trump ain't stupid, bro. And then he was like, "See ya." Elon wanted to stay longer. He wanted Trump to make him stay as a government employee longer. He did. Trump was done with him, bro. That's why. And then people were like, "Oh, it's a movie. It's 5D chess." I'm like, "See, that's the thing. You can't always say everything's 5D chess. You can't always say everything is scripted because then when it really is, it takes away from that." Right. And I said, I was like, this is an organic fight. I know Trump's body language. I can see Elon had that black eye. It just so happened that's when everything changed, was when he walked into the White House with the black eye. Like he was disrespecting the Oval Office by bringing his son in there, letting white boogers and shit over. Like it slowly started happening because Elon was getting pissed. You know what I mean? And he was like, it was coming out in these little passive aggressive ways because that's Elon's a fucking child, right? With Asperger's. And he's socially awkward, so that's just how it is, right? So then now he's flipping out because now, the Epstein file, I told you this. Listen, bro, this man is starting a third party. What is that going to do? That's going to splinter the MAGA vote. The only way to kill MAGA right now is to try to get us divided with this Epstein
1,000%.
Right? And then start a fucking third party and then call it the American Party. Are you kidding me, bro? We already have American Party. It's called MAGA. It's called the New Republican Party, the one that we just took over the last 8 years. Put
you guys don't forget that shit.
And tears into it, and you're gonna come in here and just create a new fucking party? Are you kidding? Like the balls on this guy, bro? A South African starting an American party? Who do you think you are, bro? Honestly, you just got here, for real.
Forget about it.
You're gonna dictate to us, bro. You're gonna dictate to us what America is, what America First is, what MAGA means, bro. You don't even know how to you didn't even know how to spell that shit until we fucking spelled it for you, bro. He had no interest in the MAGA movement until Trump got shot. That's when he jumped on board. That's when everybody jumped on board. That's because they knew he was going to win. It was
that's it. Yeah, because they handed him the thing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bro, that was the whole thing. And then that's when he publicly came out on board, bro. He was like going against the agenda, but he'd never endorsed Trump. He was a never Trumper. Elon was a never Trumper. Let's face it. That's what he was up until Trump got shot. And he was like, ooh, I can help this guy win. Right? All he cares about, bro, is merging humans with robots and getting on Mars because he's given up on Earth. That's what it is, bro. Because he looks at our society. He says, it's fun, whatever. I'm going to Mars. See you guys. Peace. But you know what? I'm going to need, before I get there, I'm going to need autonomous robots. I'm going to need self-driving cars. I'm going to need battery-powered cars because you can't use fucking gasoline up there. So he's building his Mars army right now. He's getting all the data he needs. No one's going to buy these millions of robots. Who's going to buy 1 million robots, bro? Honestly, no one's gonna want this shit. It's not for us. He's gonna need workers on Mars to build shit. Who's gonna do that? The fucking robots. Right, so this is what he's doing, bro. And
1000%.
the EV driving self cars with the electric. That's what's going to be on Mars, bro. It's all solar.
That's all he
powered
talks
bullshit up
about.
there.
That's all he talks about.
He's obsessed, bro. Obsessed. He's a very obsessive compulsive. So he'll put on any skin this man needs, bro. And that's why now he's saying that Steve Bannon is on the Epstein list because Steve Bannon is calling him out. Steve Bannon calls him out for being a puppet of China. China owns his ass because they make a lot of his shit over there. So that's another thing about this, bro. The Chinese Communist Party is heavily involved with Elon. So if they don't want to see the rise of MAGA, they don't want to be paying these tariffs. The quickest way to get it would be to break MAGA, let a socialist win next time, like AOC and fucking Bernie, because that's what we're going to get if he makes this America's third party, bro. If he makes this America's third party, we're going to see the rise of AOC. And maybe that was the point. And maybe that was his point the whole time. Maybe he was maybe he really was a splinter cell, bro.
Seeing AOC as the woman president, it's like saying, I'm going to be president. Guys, look at me, bro. Look at me,
bro. Look at me, bro.
Look, bro. Now, let's be honest here. Today is the 8th of the month, guys. You've made it to the middle of the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. You're on YouTube now. If you are this far into the show and you're enjoying it, make sure you check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, engage. It's a hot topic. It's hot conversations here. And I guess I'm gonna mention this to you guys. I'm not saying he is our savior here. He is our bullhorn. Don't give up on him yet. Give it the 72-hour rule. Watch something come up. I'm telling you, something's gonna rise up. And then you're gonna be, when this happened, when the whole Iran thing happened, there were so many black pillars, even friends of mine talking so much shit.
God,
they were trying it's a good time to kick the Trumpers in the nuts. Well, guess what, guys?
Yeah, but by doing that, you're kicking America in the nuts. Like, just because you want to see certain people lose or whatever, like, all we're doing, bro, is we're being hopeful, and hope that's a power.
Now
Go
ahead.
No, I thought you said cut it. That there's power in that. There's power in hope. You know what I mean? And I think that we can't get so focused on one thing that we're missing all of the other wins that we had, bro. Like, the whole financial system is fixing itself. The job creation is going on. The peace, bro. Like, what is more important, honestly, world peace or the Epstein files? Honestly, like, personally, yeah, we want that. But for the world and humanity, like, yeah, it'd be important to see the pedophiles go down, and they're gonna go down, bro. But there's probably just as many Republicans as there is Democrats on that list. Like, what is that gonna do to the landscape of everything? Like, but bro, it's not the time, because we just getting started. Like, maybe in a couple of years when everything is set and on the rails and good to go, it's going to be done in a way that we don't expect it to be done in. It's going to drop when we don't expect it to drop. It's going to come out in a way where we don't expect it. It might get leaked, something like that, right? But just because we're not getting it today doesn't mean we're not going to get it tomorrow. And it doesn't matter what they say, because we've done this before. He says one thing and then the next thing happens, right? He's like, we're going to go drop bombs in Iran, but then the next thing we're getting out of Iran. And you got to understand that when Trump speaks, he knows that the world is listening, that other world leaders are listening.
He manages to stay on the headline.
He might have made a deal where he was like, listen, if you guys agree to this peace deal, I'll publicly say the Epstein files are dead. If you make the ceasefire deal, I'll say it's dead on national television. Okay, boom. And that's what, you know what I mean? And maybe that's what the memo was about, to confirm that it's all dead. You guys, the deal has been made. Trump's a deal maker, bro, at the end of the day. And he's going to put this country first when it comes down to it, and is going to put the importance of whatever it is first, and the chaos that it's going to bring. The cure can't be worse than the problem. Again, we're going to say it because it's very important, right? And we cannot let perfection be the enemy of good. Just because when everything is not perfectly being aligned the way we want it, doesn't mean a lot of good things aren't happening, and a lot more important things are happening too than just the Epstein files, for real.
And on the last portion of this, do you know what else go boom? You know what else blows up? The economy. Let them know what's up, bro.
Bro, there was all this fear porn about the economy, about Iran, it's just like, are you seeing a theme here? There's a black pill theme, right? That is the theme. And it's coming from all sides, all angles. And it's really to diminish this movement's success, to diminish its motivation. It's moving forward so quickly. Like, nobody thought Trump could turn the economy around this way. All the economists, all the predictions, everybody was wrong. Literally everybody was wrong. The professionals, the economists, and little old us and podcasters, we were right. That's what it comes down to, because we believe in the vision, right? And we know that it worked the first time. It worked in 2017. The tariffs worked without causing inflation. Look, now there's no inflation. We're adding more jobs than we ever expected to add, than the experts expected to add. And it's all, most importantly, it's all American-born workers. That is who is being hired. 0 foreign workers have been hired. All of the new job gains are all American workers for the first time in God knows how long. All of the job gains for Joe Biden were all foreign-born workers. There was a recession of American-born workers under Joe Biden. Now we are having an American-born boom, and wages are going up for the first time in months. In years. Gas is at the lowest it's been in 4 years. Grocery prices are down. No inflation, right? I don't have to tell you that. Everyone knows. So is that more important right now to get the price, get all of these things done than to release the names on Epstein files? Honestly, right? Like, we had to get our ducks in a row. There's other important pressing matters that are happening right now today that we have to deal with. And like I always say, we're dealing with the things that are most important to the country, to the world, than the base, right? We've been here, patience and persistence. Oh, I want to talk about Candace Owens, right?
That's the last point right now, Candace Owens. Yes.
Bro. And I think I've been setting up to this because we're talking about black pill dealers, right? People that have been black pilling about everything from Iran to Israel to tariffs to all. It's a common theme. It's the black pill theme, right? Even Tucker Carlson is in there a little bit, but I think he's more just curious, and he admits when he's wrong and stuff. So I don't want to get to. But Candace Owens specifically, I always appreciate her. I always love her. I'm not like bashing on her, but I have to call her out because she's been lying about a lot of shit, actually. And the way she paints it, she sprinkles a bit of truth and a lot of propaganda and a lot of one-sided information, right? Refuses to give both sides of any argument, refuses to admit when she's wrong. And that really bothers me because she has so many people's ear, and she was never on the right. She was always a leftist until about 2016 when MAGA started. She switched to the right and became a superstar, right? So she has, her roots are in feminism. Those are her roots. And I'm not saying you can't change your mind. Absolutely. But something changed in her, right? And it really is the black pill of Israel. Like I always talk about how it's a dangerous black pill, even though the information is true, and it is, but it's a Trojan horse for anti-Western civilization, anti-Americanism. They're just using Israel to do it because a lot of people can get on board with that. It doesn't sound as bad as hating America if you just hate Israel, but then you hate that America supports Israel. You hate everything America does for Israel. You pretty much hate America, right? Because of Israel. So that's the Trojan horse. Israel was the Trojan horse. They're in the house now. Now they can tell you anything, right? They can tell you, oh, this is because of Israel and this is blah, blah, blah. All these branches and all these things she makes up, all this like that pedophiles can seek harbor in Israel. That's not true. Like she just she says a lot of things to make it bombastic and to get headlines and to get clicks, because she's working for herself now. She's not getting a paycheck from somebody else, so she's relying 100% on clicks, 100% on herself. So when you do that, you don't necessarily sell out to like a foreign government, but you sell out to the clicks, right? And then because once you're relying on that, you're not getting a paycheck from the boss. You got to make content that hits, right? So you're going to sprinkle some untruths in there, and then I appreciate a lot of the stuff she does is cool, but the whole anti-Trump shit now she regrets voting for Trump. I regret. Oh, so you rather Kamala Harris be the president right now? That's what you're saying when you say you regret your vote for Donald Trump, just because you didn't get everything you wanted, or you thought we were going to war with Iran. Now you telling everybody, bro. She told active service military people to not follow the commands of their commander-in-chief. She actually told service members to get arrested and to get court-martialed, all because Trump might send them to Israel. And if Trump tells you to do something, don't do it. Ignore Trump. She's literally telling that to military members. Like how un-American is that, to not follow the commands of your commander-in-chief because fucking Candace Owens said so? Like, bro, these emotional podcasters, like I said, are overly emotional. They think they're right about their theories. You know what I mean? And and my theories are based in logic and are based in what we've seen from the past events, right? She is taking stuff out of thin air and just trying to paint a whole picture of a narrative. And she's wrong. She didn't admit she was wrong about Iran. She didn't admit that we weren't going to war and that, we're going to go die for Israel. She didn't say anything about Trump stopping the regime change, Trump forcing them to a ceasefire. How is Israel controlling anything, right? But she'll never admit this. She'll just move the goalpost and she'll change the subject and she'll say that, you know what I mean? So I know a lot of people love her, so I don't want to piss anybody off, but I just want to give that perspective of not everything you hear from everyone you love is true. And just because you agree with someone on one thing doesn't mean they're telling the truth about everything.
Splinter Cell. Remember what the episode is called? There's more than just one
Splinter
operative.
Cell, bro. A lot of splintering, and that's the only way you can defeat MAGA right now would be to splinter it. That's for the midterms, especially. Bro, the midterms are right around the corner, and they're losing because of the riots. They're losing because the oil. Economic boom is working. All this shit is working, bro. So we're seeing a massive psyop right now. Massive psyop. CNN is even begging for the Epstein files now. Jake Tapper on CNN is asking so maybe that was part of it too, is to get more attention. Who knows, bro? All I know is that nothing is what it seems. If you're super emotional about something, it's probably a psyop. 72-hour rule. Take a breath. I have to listen to that myself sometimes. I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. I'm talking to myself just as much as anybody else. And this we cannot let perfection be the enemy of good. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's so important. Because we can't. Now people are saying MAGA's over because of this. Oh my God, MAGA is not. It's not over, bro. We still have 3 years. We have a country to put back together. We have an economy to put back together. The stock market is now booming again. We have fucking roads and bridges to fix. We have the border is now secure. Nobody's talking about the border being secure. That one illegal has been released into our country in the last 4 months. Nobody's talking about that. That's amazing, bro. That's huge, right? That was the whole point of really voting this man in, is kicking people out and stopping people from coming here, getting the economy fixed. And all the rest is window dressing, bro. And we'll get there. We got 3 years to get there. Patience, persistence.
Juggling fatherhood and podcasting at the same time.
Bro,
And
I
at the
usually
same
got to do
time-
it too. I'm finally don't have to do it, bro. And I'm like, that's why I'm like so in right now, bro.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we try to bring you some of the best, most not hopeful, but clear logic. Because a lot of people are based off emotions. Like I said in the beginning of the show, MacArthur Park here in LA is not a place that you remember where you go get your sweetbread and when you get to talk to your neighbors and enjoy the culture of other countries. No, it's a place where you go buy fake stolen credit cards, stolen tools, green cards, stolen permits. You get to pick up stolen rims and stolen car parts, and then at the same time get your fix. MacArthur Park, these are places where, your heart belonged to because of an era, but then that's not the era anymore, and the people that are in this country are not here because they love the country. They're here to leech the shit out of it. It's based off numbers, not emotion, guys. Get it in through your head. It's a number game. And quite frankly, I think this breaks most of the freaking fear that everybody's leeching off of. Donald Trump has a legacy, and I don't think he wants to be remembered as the guy that hid the JFK of our time, which is Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
I don't think he wants to go down as the guy that hid those papers. So, guys, make sure you check this out and make sure you check out Flash_News 1. He is the political analyst of Paranoi Radio podcast. Guys, drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Thank you so freaking much for being here today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And keep your head on a swivel, guys. Peace.